Welcome to Camborico, the podcast with Pedro Martinez and Rosemarry Mel. Three, two, one, and welcome to another podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you're watching this or listening to us. This is podcast number 4, and yes, we're counting.
We're gonna count till we can't count anymore.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for all the support that you have given us so far. Really appreciate it. We over 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. We got quite a few followers on Facebook. We really appreciate it. I mean, when we first started this, it was, hey, we got a handful of folks. Our friends are probably watching, and we're gonna be looking at things and criticizing our video, having fun with it as we share information. So definitely took us by surprise.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think we were interesting at all, really.
Yeah, definitely. We love doing this podcast. I mean, we're gonna get better with time. We're learning about video, about audio, about just trying to have a fluid conversation without even thinking we have, cameras looking at us and people are gonna be watching. It's like public speaking. You are trying to be normal, trying to convey a message, and at the same time having fun with it. So it's really interesting for me.
Well, I have like bad habits, like I'll scratch my face or I'll rub my eyes, or it's like I gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. Today it is 9/11 as we are recording this podcast. 9/11 or 9/11. That was a tragedy. The thousands of innocent folks lost their life in New York, the Trade Center. Um, Obviously, me being a little conspiratory inclined, I have to ask, who was really behind 9/11? That is the question that depending on who you talk to, you will get different
Yeah, I was
answers.
like, don't ask that
Yeah.
question.
It's one of the, I mean, I love asking, I love seeing all those documentaries around it. I mean, who was really behind 9/11? That's still a question that remains unanswered. Um, Questioning is healthy. I don't want to diminish the tragedy. I don't want to diminish what happened because obviously there was a gravity.
That was a grave.
Yeah, there was a lot of facts that are known, but there are also a lot of facts that are unknown still until today. So I think it's healthy to question things. Um, and and I said this because as we're learning about the war against all Puerto Ricans, which is, by the way, I have a book right here. This is a great book. I think it should be mandatory for all kids in high school here in Puerto Rico, perhaps in college. It should be mandatory for those expats moving into the island, especially North American. This is no anti-American book. This is an anti-colonial book, and history is history. So the same way we're finding things through the Freedom of Information Act to this day in 2020, where atrocities happen against us, Puerto Ricans here on the island. Um, we are finding things through the FOIA requests about 9/11, about things it just do not add up based upon what our top leaders were telling us at the time. So I don't know if whether they did it to protect us, to not create panic, whatever the reason was. But all this conspiratory stuff, I love it. So it's very interesting to me. So alrighty. Other than me reading that book, which by the way is a great book, I will suggest you make it one of your next reading. It's a quick reading, probably 2-3 hours.
On Pedro's book club.
Yeah. So, yeah, so it's one of those books, you get hooked because of the story of Pedro Albizu Campos. You get hooked about, um, I didn't know there was a massacre in Rio Piedras. There was another massacre in Ponce, and the story behind them they should make a movie out of this book, definitely. Um, Also, Law 53. Do you know that singing the Puerto Rican national anthem or having a flag of Puerto Rico back then, it was illegal?
I didn't know that.
So I guess the Constitution didn't really cover us. I mean, it was great. So Pedro Albizu Campos, it was the first Puerto Rican go to Harvard Law School. He spoke 6 languages fluently. He was the president of the Puerto Rican National Party and helped write the constitution of the Irish Republic, which is interesting. So, how does a principal figure ends in such a tragedy? I mean, again, you're gonna have to read the book. I don't want to give it out, so I'll be surprised. But I would love to see a movie and perhaps have Benicio del Toro or somebody playing that role. So, anyway,
I think it'd be a documentary instead of a movie.
perhaps both. It's like Che Guevara.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can have the documentary, but at the same time,
A
have a
docu-movie.
movie. Yeah, a docu movie. That'll be fun. Alrighty, so going about topics about books and history. Do not forget that you have until September the 14th to register to vote here on the island. So if you haven't registered yet, make sure you go to your local electoral college. They're open until September the 14th. This is going to be a crucial year. I bet everybody says that for early
For
elections.
every election.
Yeah, but I think things are shifting. The winds are shifting in Puerto Rico. People are really sick and tired of the corruption. We saw that with Ricky Rosselló being ousted, in essence, by the people. We have good options besides the 2 major parties. There's an independent. There's an independent. There's also Victoria Ciudadana, led by Alexandra Lugaro. Those are other options that are available, and they look promising in a sense of, they're not part of the bunch. They are very highly skilled people that can articulate well the problems that we have, and they have good vision for us. So, anyway, do your research. I encourage you, do not vote traditionally. Do your research about each candidate, and may the best candidate win. I think I haven't been shy about who I'm voting for so far, so I'm gonna go with Juan Dalmau for governor. Everything else, I'm gonna go for the Victoria Ciudadana candidates, just because they're outside of the 2 major parties. So here in Rio Grande, the major elections, that's pretty much won by body. There's no other candidate, so he pretty much got that on his pocket. So congratulations to him. You haven't won yet, but you will, I'm pretty sure. He's part of the Partido Popular Democrático, PPD. So, and to be honest, if the next governor outside of the party steals money and corruption, but puts dozens of people in jail, the ones that stole the money from Puerto Rico, in jail for life, and made them pay back the money, I think people would be happy. That's a nice compromise.
I guess so. I have my opinions.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, I think this week we were talking about customer service. I think on a previous podcast, but one of the things that we experienced even until yesterday was a doctor's appointment. I think you've
just
been
making-
behind a kind of person that we still can get somebody on the phone to just change an appointment. I mean, it's a nightmare. I don't know.
It seems like everybody's, I don't know, we have to work around them. And if you don't get in, it's like they're on lunch or, I don't know, something is going on, but nobody picks up the phone. And even insurance companies, there's like, you're jumping through hoops just to do something and to find out that, oh, it's just send an email. and it doesn't state anywhere that, oh, this is all you have to do. He's like, you have to go here, I'm going to transfer you here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And all of a sudden, they say, just send an email when you get to the right person. You just have to get to the right person who knows how to do it.
So they don't post the right instructions, like 1, 2, 3, this is what you do in this case.
No, it's not so
No
direct.
FAQs on their website or anything.
Not even at the doctor's offices. There's not even, like, sometimes there's like an automatic, I guess like a customer service
Right.
program that kind of categorizes it for you based on what numbers you press on the phone. And I guess they don't see that. And no matter what menu you go through on the phone, you still have to repeat yourself as to like what needs to be done. And it's like, didn't I just go through the menu to get to you directly? I don't know.
Well, it has been a nightmare. I mean, again, just to even change an appointment. I know that we don't have all the things. And what I'm thinking is, even today, I'm going to try to call again. If I don't get them out on the phone, we're going to show up to the appointment. And when we get there, hey, you don't have everything. Well, we're trying to contact you to change the appointment, but we're here now. So
Yeah,
move the appointment to some other day or whatever. So, yeah, there's no... and again, I don't want to generalize on everything that we opinionate here, but our experience has been this. It just fucking sucks, There's no sense of, hey, let's educate the customer. Let's work with them. There is no working backwards from the customer. It's just basically, this is what we do, this is what we are, and that's it, suck it.
Yeah, it's a very frustrating, especially if you're new to all this. Because what I've experienced being in the States, growing up there, is that everything is so centralized, everything is very processed. So one person handles one client, where here, I guess they don't have the manpower to do that. And so, no, it's not one person, but you have your doctor, they have their nurses, and they have their clients. And the nurses handle the clients for the doctors. But here, it's like one person handles everything for everybody. And everybody could include like 20 doctors. And I can see the frustration, but it's also, kind of like a snowball effect where everybody gets frustrated.
And probably it's because there's no strategy, there's no organization within that institution that says, hey, let's look at what kind of customers we have, let's look at the volume, because at the end of the day, they're hurting themselves because they could probably handle more clients, more customers, more patients, and make more money, but instead they're just doing the barely minimal. I don't know. I can speculate only what kind of mess they have, internally, but it can be frustrating. So if you come into the island,
Expect it.
again, I don't want to generalize. There's some clinics that are great. The rest of them, they're not. It's hard to find a middle ground where either suck or either it's great.
Well, it's not really like the individual doctors. Like we were talking the other day about your files, like
Right.
even your medical files. You have to gather them yourself. There's no centralized location where each doctor will send. Will say like, okay, I can look up your file here and grab it as long as I have the HIPAA, permission signed by you, or whatever, like they do in the States. Because you have to actually carry paper copies of your medical records to these doctors to make sure that they have a full picture of what's going on with you if it's a new doctor. And
probably multiple copies, because if not, they're going to charge you for the copies.
Exactly. They charge you for those copies.
Over and over when they have the information digitally, but they still want paper. I don't know why. I mean, it's just...
I have no idea why.
Right. It definitely is frustrating. So be ready for that when you come to the island. Do your research as far as, which doctor to go to, which clinic. The problem is sometimes the great doctors are trapped within that
the
bureaucracy.
system.
So if you want to see a great doctor, perhaps the secretaries, perhaps the insurance provider that doctors deal with may not be the best. So it's just finding the right combination. Sometimes you have to compromise. But remember, this is an island. You're going to have to come with a with a lot of patience because it's an island
mentality.
time. Uh, this is not hustle here. This is basically island time. The pace is very slow. So,
It's
um,
either stay healthy, eat your superfoods, and and just don't go.
and drink your beer. That's what you need. Just don't go to the doctor. All right. Um, Talking about the services are not so great. Internet. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. Internet in Puerto Rico, internet services sucks. I mean, um, at least where we are, there's a couple options, which is satellite, like HughesNet or one of these, third-party companies that still lease the services from HughesNet, satellite, or there's WiMAX, which basically is uh, not really a hotspot. It's like a longer distance Wi-Fi.
I haven't
The
heard of
company uses like Cosonet. They uses the antennas that talk point to
that. Oh,
point to the cell phone towers, and it is just not efficient. I think we pay what, 60, $70 for, I don't know,
how
20
many?
megs
Yeah.
down for download and then three for upload. I mean, it does the trick, but those are the only options that we have. And we're not in an area that's so remote, but we're still in an area that's kind of high up where other companies are not really competing because it's no market. So we kind of trap on this. So be ready for that when you come to the island. So when you have, if you're used to fiber going to your
Oh
house,
my goodness. I remember we would download things and like, oh my god, it was
it's
so
two
quick.
seconds. I mean,
We're like,
but
what? It's done?
well, here you just grab a cup of coffee and then,
Yeah, look at the sunrise or
yeah,
something.
take a break and then download it. But anyway, it's not as bad. It's not as reliable. If it rains too much, it goes down. If it's too sunny, it goes out. If
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's just interruptions.
Too
So I will
windy.
say it's probably one or twice a month it will go out. Um,
But not for long. It's usually for just at most 3, 4 days. But then
three,
three or
four
four days,
days.
it'll be like it feels like forever without internet because you're so accustomed to it. It's part of everyday life. It's a necessity, basically.
So as a backup plan, make sure you have a good cell phone plan with LTE or 5G. Well, if you can get 5G, we can get for LTE 2 bars. And AT&T, if you're listening to this, your signals suck up here on the Yunque. So we only get 2 bars, and it's just horrible. But it works.
Yeah, we just live with it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's out there for the internet. Other things that we were talking about earlier was a new executive order from the governor. So the governor spoke yesterday. This is all related to the COVID-19. And as I understand that, and I'm gonna go through this for those that are listening, locals that are very interested. I know we got a few people that reach out and say, hey, why you guys not do like a nightly news,
A review.
summary in English of what's going on? Because, even the local government only speaks Spanish. They're not trying to post anything in English, or at least they're not making it popular. Um, so one of the things is we are still going to have a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Movie theaters, gyms, casinos are going to reopen at 20% capacity. Movie theaters, oh my God.
That'll be kind of. I don't know. It's so enclosed. I'm still nervous.
Oh my
about
God,
going
somebody
out.
sneezes and then everybody gets
Yeah.
sick, or somebody farting, you can smell it. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I know.
it's just horrible. So, um, those restaurants now they're going from 25% capacity to 50% capacity. So restaurants were already open. However, Sundays they used to be closed. It was a total lockdown for restaurants and bars and stuff like that. So now they're gonna be able to reopen on Sundays.
Oh.
Obviously, with the new guidelines of the 25 or 50% capacity, depending of yeah. So we're gonna see more people on Sundays go out, get drunk, and
Yeah, Sundays is a big day to go out here, and I don't know how that came about because Monday is a work day, but I don't know. It just seems like that's the day to get drunk, to get wasted, and to chill out with all your friends before your work day, so that you come into work with a hangover.
that's good.
No.
I think that's a island uh, routine.
Brutality.
Yeah, so that's how every island's probably gonna is.
Oh God, I
I mean, you
remember.
still have that in the U.S. Just not as common. Probably more on the around the coast and certain cities. But
Really?
yeah, I mean,
Usually
I
it's a
could smell. I
Friday.
remember smelling the alcohol of some people at work. Back in the
It could have been your
corporate
own
world.
breath. Okay. Oh
Could be
my.
just me. Huh?
You're just like,
Damn,
I think you're I think you're hungover, but really it's just like
it's just you.
resonating from your skin.
Maybe that's what the problem was. Beaches are reopening, so now you can go to the beach. We got the kids. Now it's gonna be between 6 and 8 feet of distance between family nucleus or family groups. Um, Outside of the water, however, mandatory mask wearing is in place. You have to wear your mask outside of the water. Thankfully, it's not inside the water. I don't know
That'd
how
be
would
kind
that
of
work,
weird.
but yeah, that's gonna be weird. So I guess we're gonna have to remain in the water, so to speak, to be able to be without mask. Beach chairs and coolers are prohibited. So I guess they want you to go to the beach, but they don't want you to party at the beach.
So sit on a towel and I
And
don't
wear your
know,
mask.
and wear your mask.
And then you can have a suntan with your mask around or something.
Oh my God, I've seen the
The
when you
video.
get sunburn and only here's white.
So that's gonna be interesting. So, schools are still going online. They're still doing the distant education. Concerts, uh, theaters, no movie theaters, just regular theaters. Corporate activities they must seek approval from the governor's secretary office. I guess if you want to do a concert, you have to ask the governor, "Hey, can I do it?" So I don't know how would that work,
That's kind
and
of odd.
yeah, that's gonna be weird.
That's an
Now,
odd one.
this is something that although things are reopening, I don't know. It's gonna be weird for us because if we were planning to go around the island and begin start traveling, this is why we were getting the cars ready and everything. Start getting some more videos and showing you guys around the island. Um, Chinchorros or roadside eateries, along with cafes, bar, and discotheque, they will remain closed. So I don't know if any of those places that are mom and pops in the middle of nowhere, we won't be able to go. So it's basically just full scale restaurants and other
I
places. So
know,
that
that's so
sucks. I
sad.
mean, what's the point? So I think
I love
little unfair for those
chinchorros.
places because if those places are paying licenses for alcohol, tobacco, for other things, for
Just like a
to
regular
sell. Yeah, I mean
restaurant. They're
they're
living.
supposed to keep the same guidelines as a restaurant. So why are we um, not going by the same rules for everybody? So I think
But those areas are more popular with the locals here because it's like the social aspect of it. I know people congregate there, so it'll be almost like a concert, almost because it gets so crowded sometimes on Sundays. So I can understand where they're coming from because it's hard to keep the 6 foot or 8 foot or even 50% capacity because you never know who's gonna come in and out.
but that will be up to the owners of the restaurant to
Well, that's
ensure that
true.
they comply with the
Yeah,
guideline. I mean, the same thing with a restaurant. How would you do the same thing at a restaurant? You have to have people
that's true. To keep
checking
the
for temperature and make sure they're wearing the mask, policing. This is it. And to be honest, you don't want to get sick. Stay
That's
home.
very true. That's very
Just
true.
stay the fuck home and don't criticize whoever wants to go to the beach. Don't criticize anybody else. Just stay away from those people. That's it. It's like you don't want to get flu. Don't leave your home. Stay home.
Yeah.
Eat healthy. Take your vitamins.
Pass the decision on to the populace rather than trying to control the situation from above. I get it.
All right, so we can purchase alcohol in restaurants and grocery stores up to 10 p.m., which is, that's great. I mean,
No,
most
that's
places
fine.
close at 9 or so. There's a few restaurants might close a little later, but usually at that time. So that kind of normalized things a little bit for us Puerto Ricans. Marinas can open, but boats must remain 15 feet apart. So I don't know how would that work, especially on the little islands around the main island. So I know
Oh yeah.
people like to gather, but
They're
I think that's
looking for.
doable. So I expect to have a lot of more boats out there on the water this weekend. Caravans and activities that gather large group of peoples are totally prohibited. I guess that included, in
And
the
the party
concerts
buses.
and party buses and stuff like that. So it is these are weird times. It's a new adjustment. It's funny because we were watching some videos of other bloggers and let's say in Thailand, and things already ease up pretty good over there. They kind of back to normal.
It looks like, I mean, they've always been, cautious about wearing the masks, and because it's such a crowded country. I mean, they've made it their lifestyle to watch out for those things. And especially, I don't know how the medical like industry is there, but I don't think it's as
Well,
efficient.
I can tell you it's a lot cheaper than here and the U.S.
Yeah, oh my God. Everywhere's cheaper than the US.
So, but yeah, it's definitely a slow transition. I'm hoping that the numbers, the data reflect that we kind of over the curve, so to speak. And we can get some kind of normalcy, especially for students, especially for families, and for those small businesses that are really suffering. That a lot of them they will not make it. I mean, but
It's so
it's just
sad.
the way it is with the pandemic. It's gonna be interesting to come back and somebody look at the legalities of what the government has done as far as lockdown, how they have messed up the economy, for the good for all. So there are different points of views on this, but I would love to see somebody start researching. Maybe one of these lawsuits that go all the way to the Supreme Court and determine up to what point government can tell you're not supposed to open, you're not supposed to gather, you're not supposed to. There's a breach of freedoms, seems like. But on the other hand, I guess it's for our own good. So maybe for our own good, they're gonna force vaccines on you. I don't know. If you don't have vaccines, you can buy shit, or go out of your
I
home. You're gonna self quarantine. You're gonna. We don't know
Yeah,
where we go from here.
they're
And 2020
lines.
has surprised us already so much that I don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh my God, it's just like diarrhea. When it squirts out, you never know where it's gonna go.
Damn, that's a
Well, I'm just saying,
that's
like,
a fucked up
shit already
analogy.
hit the fan.
Whoa. So there you go. Now you know the other side of the fan. You can smell it. Wow. So, all right, we want to close this, keep it short. But one thing is, we were reached out. I think somebody reached out to us through Instagram, and I believe we have identified
That's right.
another Cambodian that happens to be resident of Puerto Rico and San Juan. We don't know this person, and I'm gonna throw out the first name, Wendy. I think you have reached out to us, and Rosemary, you reach out back. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, give us a call. We would like to meet the other Cambodian on the island.
I know, then I wouldn't feel so alone.
Well, I mean, we don't even know if there are more Cambodians here. I thought you were the only one, but I'm pretty sure there has to be at least one or two. I'm thinking. So I don't know.
I've met a few in the States where it's been, same kind of dynamic what we have, the Puerto Rican, Cambodian union.
Mix in
And
the
then-
U.S., but not here. Not living
not
here.
not here.
So we'll see. So if you know of any residents of Puerto Rico that happens to be Cambodian, even first generation Cambodian descendant, let us know. Share this video.
It would be awesome.
Yeah, share, reach out to us through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We'll definitely would love to see more people, meet them.
Yeah, I'd love to meet them.
yeah,
I'd love
definitely.
to meet them.
Yeah.
See their ideas and how their experience has been, and kind of learn from each other. And also
And-
talk shit in Cambodian about other people. Everybody knows Spanish.
Damn,
here.
these Puerto Ricans are crazy. They're
Exactly.
fucking drunks. My goodness, now I can talk shit and nobody know what we're
Hell
saying.
yeah! Bochinche.
There you go, Cambodian bochinche. All right, guys. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I think hopefully we're getting more fluent at this. We're learning. I appreciate your support. As always, if you like this video, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, give a thumbs up if you like it. Share your comments, share your feedback. If you have any questions, if you have any inquiries, comments, anything. Share on the comment section below this video. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and our Instagram, Camborico PR, and YouTube Camborico, Facebook Camborico as well. The links will be under this video in the description section. And don't forget to hit that little icon so after you subscribe so you can get notifications whenever we upload a new video. On to the next one. I hope you guys are doing okay and stay safe. See ya.